Happy Halloween. It is week 10 in the NCAA football. Gentlemen, I'm JoeDaFan, of course, with Shane Mack and, of course, the Wise Man. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys
Happy Halloween.
So how was it?
The trick-or-treating was good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very, very good. The kid is passed out now. He's worn out. So I have a 5-year-old and almost 2-year-old.
Right.
So the 2-year-old was stopped early, went home, went to bed. The grandparents took him, put him to sleep, and then we went out a little bit longer with the 5-year-old. And 5-year-old, we got back around 8:15, 8:30, and then got him in his PJs, and he was asleep within like 5 minutes. It was pretty nice.
What were the costumes?
We were all the Incredibles.
Oh, that's right. The Incredible.
Yep. So I was Mr. Incredible. He was Dash. The baby was Jack. Our dog was Violet, and then my wife was Elastigirl.
Very nice.
So, okay, before we get to our picks here, and we'll talk a little bit of recap, what is the worst candy bar? I'm going to go first. Mountain Joy, or sorry, Almond Joy or Mounds. Terrible.
I agree with you there because I hate coconut.
Yeah.
I'm not a coconut fan at all.
Yeah, Almond Joy for sure. Yeah, Almond Joy is the worst. Okay, best candy bar. Like, what do you steal from your kids' bags?
Do you know one I always love, but you don't see very often? The $100 grand. The $100 bar is a solid bar. You know, the $100 bar. I like the $100 grand. $100 and Butterfingers. I love Butterfingers.
Yeah,
too.
I'm a Butterfinger guy. Snickers, of course, but Butterfinger, maybe Crunch, maybe.
You know, I feel with Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Although the Heath bar is a very underrated candy bar.
Heath bars are good.
Yeah.
Heath bar.
Heath bars are good. I like Heath bars.
Yeah.
Wow, Heath bar.
The English toffee.
Say that again?
That's the English toffee one.
Yes. All right. Let's get to work. That's why they pay us big bucks there, Shayna. Still waiting for that check. So recap. The Wise Man does it again. So what'd you go? 2-1 or 1-1? 1-1. You went 1-1.
And we got Sparty. Sparty saved us. I mean, listen. I think you guys were at the Caps game, so you didn't watch the game. Right. I am not high on my Sparties. I mean, they covered. They got us to the window, but for crying out loud, man. I mean, if Aiden Childs could throw a 10-yard out like he chews bubblegum on the sidelines, we'd be national champions. But he looked atrocious. And listen, Jonathan Smith, I think he's not long for his job in East Lansing. He looked like a walking corpse a week before Halloween. It was bad. It wasn't a good performance by Sparty, and Michigan didn't look much good either. But
right.
Yeah, and the officiating was atrocious. I mean, the center umpire looked like he was, poker buddies with Chauncey Billups, for crying out loud. He missed two blatant pass interferences, and Jonathan Smith doesn't say a word. So wasn't too happy with Sparty. They got us to the window. They covered. So
sure.
A good week all.
Sure. Shano, you go 3-1 again?
3-1 again. That's like the third week in a row. I need to stop that one. I need to make it a 4-0. I need it to happen. I'm stuck in this 3-1 rut. Not that that's bad. I'll take 3-1 every week.
Sure.
But I need a 4-0 win.
I end up going 1-1, and I said I don't need no stinking points with Kansas State.
Yeah.
That was easy.
That was a big upset win there.
That was easy. Easy math for me. So let's go, of course, with Week 10. I will go first when it comes to Big 12. Let's talk about this matchup that's going to take place at noon. I'm talking about Baylor hosting UCF. Now, they're both bowl eligible if, they got to win. So we're right around the corner of the bowls, So the problem is with the Bears of Baylor. Okay, not only they're trying to salvage a season out of this and be bowl eligible, they're 4-4, where UCF is 4-3. They began with high expectations in the season, and we talked about that, Shano, in a different video. But they need 2 more wins to be bowl eligible. So that being said, I don't think they're going to make it because UCF has they come off a bye, so they're rested off of but they destroyed that team I don't like west of us. Has the same state name, but I don't even think it's an accredited college, to be honest with you. But their strength, of course, for UCF is their scoring defense. So they've done well there. I think the problem with Baylor is they struggle against the run, which UCF is very good at. So that being all said, when I did the math here, Baylor, of course, has a home advantage here, but when I did the math, I think it's going to be something that UCF, they're favored by 3.5. So I'm going to take the 3.5. You could go money line if you're willing to do that. 3.5 here at minus 110 and Caesars. I think the over under is pretty high there at 59.5 to 60 points. You could go that route because I think they're going to leave everything on the table here because it's around that time because now we're entering November. So bowl is starting to be part of that picture and part of the thing that they need. So, I just think that the only part that UCF has that's their weakness is their pass defense. But if I think that UCF can stop Baylor from throwing the ball like crazy and they just get into the run, I think this is a shoo-in for UCF. So give me UCF plus 3.5 over Baylor. Although it's a tough game to call, I'm sticking with UCF to win here. Shana, what say you for your first pick?
All right, my first pick, I'm gonna go to one of the ACC games. First one I'm gonna go to is Georgia Tech is playing at NC State. NC State's lost 4 of its last 5 games, and they are 1-5 in their past 6 home games against the Yellow Jackets. And last week, Pittsburgh put up 53 points against them. Pittsburgh put the smackdown on them last week, right? I don't understand how the spread is only at 5.5. Georgia Tech's 8-0. They're 6-2 against the spread this year. They had one close game against Wake Forest. That was a couple weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago. But since then, they've beaten each team. The smallest margin of victory they had is 10 points. They played Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse. Syracuse, nothing to brag home about. Virginia Tech, probably not either. But I see like the NC State kind of on that Duke, Virginia Tech level.
Right.
I don't see how this game's at 5.5. I get it's a rivalry game, but at the same time, I think this game should be at least like a touchdown spread. So I'm going to take Georgia Tech minus 5.5 against the Wolfpack. Georgia Tech
minus 5.5. Yeah, it's, NC State, not really that great, to be honest with you.
Right. That's what I said. Like last week, Pittsburgh beat them like 53-27 or something, or 22, something like that. Yeah. But they put up 53 on them and then pulled everybody out of the game. And then that's when NC State finally started moving the ball. The week before that, they played Notre Dame, and Notre Dame put the smack down on them too. It was like 39-7 or something like that. It was like crazy game. So I don't see why this game's so close for the spread wise. To me, it should be a lot bigger.
Right.
So I'm taking the Yellow Jacket.
The line is moving, of course, as we speak. So it is Georgia Tech minus 5.5 at Caesars at minus 110. You can get it. Pretty much it's all over the books, but again, it's starting to move. The number is changing here to minus 112 at Bet Rivers and minus 150 in FanDuel. So always want to get the best number here, guys. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with the wise man for his first pick in the Big Ten.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'm going to go out to Champaign, where your Scarlet Knights of Rutgers are playing the Fighting Illini of Illinois. This is a noon start time on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Illinois, 12.5-point favorites. Looking at these two teams' records, Rutgers 4-4. They're coming off a win against Purdue, but that was a lucky win. I don't know if you saw that game, but Purdue was leading with under 4 minutes to go. Rutgers ends up getting a field goal. Then on the ensuing kickoff, or one play after the kickoff, immediate turnover, and Rutgers ends up kicking another field goal with time expires. So to me, a lucky win. If Rutgers, ends up losing that game, I think that the line could look a little different. But Rutgers should have 5 losses in a row, but they did come out with a victory against Purdue last week. On the other hand, Illinois 5-3. Their 3 losses are against Indiana, Ohio State, and Washington. That's a pretty good resume of losses.
Sure.
Other than that, they have a quality win against an impressive USC team, which I'm high on. And so both of these defenses are bad. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think the total's in around the 60s or so.
Yeah.
Rutgers defense, in terms of points allowed, 113 in the country. Against the run, they're 111. Against the pass, they're 103rd. So just an awful defense by Rutgers. Illinois, they don't have the greatest defense either, but it's not quite as bad. They're 92 overall. But against the run, they're 52 ranked in the country. So give me the team with the better offense in this game, which is definitely Illinois. Their offense ranks 43rd in the country. Their passing offense is good with QB Luke Altmaier. They rank 39th in the country in passing. Luke Altmaier, last week he threw for 200 yards and also ran for 50. So he's showing some dual threat capability there. So I like Altmaier. He's completing 72% of his passes on the year. He has good targets in Hank Beatty and Colin Dixon. So give me the Fighting Illini in Champaign tomorrow, Saturday noon kickoff time at -12.5.
-12.5 at -112 at Bet Rivers. And that's the best number you can get there. That's the only 2 that's being offered there, Shano. In a sense, I don't know why it's DraftKings or anything else is not showing up. So when we see something, when we see
be in the middle of a line change, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They pull the line down and they're like in the middle of finagling it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it now, which I'm going to do. So I'll go to Bet Rivers right now and make this bet because something's going on. Either, I don't know, bad curfew, too much candy corn. I don't know. But I'll do that right now. While I do that, Sheena, let's go with your next pick. Are we sticking ACC or we're going to go?
Yeah, I'll stick with ACC again. Okay. Miami is playing at SMU. I'm going to go with that game there. The Hurricanes, early in the season, they looked unbeatable. They looked great. But 2 weeks ago, they lost to Louisville. That game, Carson Beck threw 4 interceptions. And then last week, they blew out Stanford, but it was closer than you think. So they beat Stanford 42-7. So it looks like it was a blowout. But at halftime, the game was 7-7. A little concerning to me for the Hurricanes. SMU is 5-3 on the season. Their only home loss was to Baylor, and they lost 3 to Baylor. And that was week 1. They lost to Baylor by 3.
Right.
But and what's another crazy thing to me is this is Miami's only second road game of the season. The first one is where they beat Florida State, and they beat them 28-22. So a pretty close game there. Is a 1-score game. With this game being in Dallas, SMU still has some ball players. They still have some pretty good squad. They were in the ACC championship game last year. I think they want to prove to the ACC that it's not a fluke. I'm taking the SMU plus the points. Last time I saw it, it was at plus 11.5, plus 10.5, somewhere around in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's moved to right now. I haven't looked since this morning when I was looking at my picks.
Yeah.
But this morning there was a couple books that still had it at plus 11.5. I jumped on that. But I think plus 10.5 is still a smart bet. I'm taking SMU plus 10.5.
Okay, plus 10. They're all saying plus 10.5 here. I'm gonna try.
It opened up at plus 13.5. So it's
so
people are jumping on SMU.
Yeah, it's definitely gone down. All right, let me double check DraftKings because again we're having some problems with this.
Last night they were showing the 30 for 30. The Pony XS.
Yeah,
that's a great 30 for 30.
Yeah, they got the death sentence there, right? They took everything away from them.
The 80s, yeah.
Hold on, whoa, rewind and play. What? Say that again.
30. Have you the 30 for 30 on the SMU?
No.
It's one of the best 30 for 30s.
All the 30 for 30s are pretty good. I don't think there's like one that's really bad, but that one is really good.
Yeah, but it's all like how corrupt the program was back in the 80s. You know, it was like big oil money in Dallas, and they're rolling up in cars for these guys and throwing all sorts of money around, and then how they got caught by the NCAA and they had to shut down their program for 2 years.
Sure, I might have to check that one out.
Oh, it's a good one. It's
a really good one.
Let's see who's going next. You want to go next there, Wise, or do you want me to go, Wise Man, or you want me to go?
I can go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So for my last game, I'm going to go out to Nebraska, where USC is traveling to Nebraska. This is a Saturday night game under the lights. USC favored by 4.5. USC comes in off a bye. We're always a little skeptical in college of coming off a bye. That's an extra week of drinking for these kids.
Right.
Their losses have come on the road, USC's, against Notre Dame and against Illinois, which we talked about earlier. Nebraska comes in 6-2. They had a win last week over Northwestern. Not a very impressive win there. Their losses have come against Minnesota, the Gophers, and Michigan. So these two teams have a common opponent in Michigan. If you recall, USC dominated the Wolverines, beat them 31-13 a few weeks ago. Nebraska, on the other hand, lost to the Wolverines 30-27. So a big discrepancy there and a common opponent.
Sure.
This game has huge implications. Both teams with only 2 losses. I think the winner gets eliminated from any playoff talk, or the loser gets eliminated from any playoff talk. The winner stays in that playoff discussion. Listen, USC's offense is electric. They're led by QB Jane Maiva. He's thrown for last week. He threw for against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. He threw for 328 yards. Overall, he's thrown for over 2,100 yards, 15 TDs, only 4 interceptions. His primary targets are going to be Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane. Lane in that Notre Dame game caught 111 yards worth of passes. So this USC offense, it's electric. I think it's going to carve up this Nebraska defense. The Nebraska defense, it's all right, but against the run, they rank 89th. I think USC is going to be able to run all over them. And so give me USC minus 4.5. There is the narrative of USC traveling a couple time zones out east, and typically, their losses have come when they've had to travel, but they're coming off the bye. I think they have, focus on this game. They know this is their chance to stay in the playoff discussion. So I like USC. I like the Trojans minus 4.5.
Minus 4.5, minus 110 at Caesar's Palace. Here's the thing, though. It opened up at minus 6.5. We can see the ticker there on the bottom. I just saw it where it opened at minus 6.5. So a lot of the folks are taking USC here. That's not a concern for you, is it?
So it opened at what? 6.5?
6.5. Yep.
Yeah. But USC does have there's some injury problems. So that's why I think Nebraska is maybe taking on a little bit of money. There are some injury concerns, but listen, I think the offense is too electric. They're balanced. They're first in passing in the country, 23rd in rushing. Mm-hmm. So if one's not working, they can easily go with a balanced attack. So I'm not concerned. I like the Trojans.
Trojans at minus 4.5. The best number here is at Caesar's Palace Sportsbook. All right. I'm up before we get to Shano's picks. This is going to be an interesting one, and it's going to be quick because I can't believe I'm actually doing this. It's down to these two teams, and this is a game that features a strong, very strong Arizona defense. Okay, and they got a pretty much efficient offense compared to a struggling Colorado defense at home. The issue that I have is Colorado got spanked. They're coming off a massive loss, and Primetime is pissed. So usually my rule is when you're getting destroyed, and the last game was 53-7 to Utah. I think this is, and I think that's where Prime got into the room and just said, hey, look, this is how it's going to be, my way or the highway kind of thing. I think here's the thing for Arizona. If Arizona can establish the run game, they've got a nice running back by the name of Ishmael Mondi, okay? If against a very mid, that's being polite, Colorado rush defense. If they can establish the run, they'll obviously they'll control the clock and keep the elite defense kind of fresh because Arizona's got pretty good defense. If they can do that, then it's not gonna even last 10 minutes. Let's be honest. But if Colorado forces the Wildcats to solely go to the passing game, I think they're toast. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to crowd the box. I think Prime doesn't want to lose. They're in bad shape as it is. Prime's in bad shape as it is. So I think it's going to be a really close game. 28, 24, or maybe even closer than that. Maybe a 1-point game. That being said, I'm going to go prime time. Colorado plus 4.5. I think it's going to be a close. There's a conference. Obviously, they both play in the same conference, but it's going to be a very close game. It can go either or, but as long as Deion's defense tightens up the bolts and stops the run, I think Arizona becomes one-dimensional. Again, it might be a 27 or not 27, excuse me, 21-20, 26-25, whatever. It might be a 1 or 2 point game. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So give me Colorado Buffaloes plus 4.5 at minus 110 at Bet365.
Like it. Better player, Prime or Bo Jackson?
Bo.
Better athlete.
Bo.
At his position, I would go Prime.
Wow.
Prime's probably the best corner of all time.
No, but you could have 1 2-way player. You
get 1 2-way player. I'm going Bo
for your baseball team, and you get him for your
Bo
in your city.
Yeah, Bo. Shano and I went to lunch today, to Glory Days. Yes.
Yeah.
And that question was actually brought up there, Wise Man.
Oh,
because he brought the guy's a huge baseball guy, and it's the Dodgers right now 3-0 in Game 6. But he said, "Hey, Ohtani is this?" Look, I have to agree with him. Ohtani is good. Don't get me wrong, but you cannot put Ohtani in the same class as Bo Jackson, as in Prime. You're comparing apples to oranges. It's not even close. So
yeah, I would say Ohtani's maybe a better just overall baseball player.
Sure.
But in terms of 2-way athlete,
sure,
no one better than Bo Jackson.
If we're talking
he was
athlete,
talking about some guy told him that Ohtani's the greatest athlete of all time. He's like, no, he's not. He's like, there's no way he's better than Bo Jackson. You can never sell me on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohtani does some crazy things. I mean, it's amazing how he's like the best pitcher in the league and the best hitter in the league at the same time. It's just ridiculous.
No, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a question. I was curious.
No. I don't mind that at all. He had actually some NASCAR question or NASCAR thing. I was like, I'm lost. I'm out. I don't even know.
Hey, I'm all in for NASCAR, man.
Oh,
I'm all in. I can talk. I can talk some NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't speak that language. But before we get to Shano's last 2 picks, can you tell the Wise Man the truth? I'm banned from all Capitals games.
So we went to the Caps game. Great seats.
I saw
10 rows back from the ice. Great seats. Right behind the net where the Caps shoot twice. Unfortunately, we were never in the offensive zone. We only had 14 shots on goal the entire game. It was like, what is happening? We lost 7-1. It was just goal after goal just getting trickled in. We did see a sweet almost goalie fight, though.
Goalie fight?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Really?
Almost.
Yeah.
The Senators goalie came bolting down across the ice and jumped on this pile of this little scrum going on, and it was almost a full-on fight, and then they separated them out. But very rare you get a goalie fight. Every once in a while you do. I was hoping for it.
Yeah.
Greatest goalie fight of all time. Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon. Those rivalries. That was a good one.
Yeah. I saw the goalie come from all the way from the other side to where we were right by the other side of the goal. That's where the fight was taking place. And he almost went Jimmy Fly Snuka on. I'm telling you, he was high cross body. It was holy cow, what's going on here? And
he was going He was booking it, dude. He was going full speed and just went, just jumped.
Yeah.
Obviously not wearing the loin leotard of Superfly Jimmy.
No. But I think he was trying to get on top of the either the goal or top of the penalty box and just try to like high cross body. I don't know.
Nice.
I was like, holy cow, what is this? But I will say this, because we did a video on recent news on the NBA where, there has been some controversial stuff going on in there, with the sports world and the betting world.
Yeah.
I think this guy was on the take. This referee had no clue what he was doing. And then here's a funny thing, and I asked Shano this because I'm not really a hockey guy because I don't know it, is how do they switch head refs? He was doing it first and second period, and then the third period it was somebody else. I was like, what is that?
He got a call from the league. He's gonna investigate it. He's on the books with Chauncey Billups. He's hanging out with again.
Yeah, he's with the mafia or something. I don't know.
Some of the calls and some of the missed calls they had were so bad. There was a couple missed calls that were terrible. But it is what it is. I mean, they weren't going to win that game anyways. The Caps are playing like crap that whole game. They played like trash. Like they're playing right now. They lost again right now. Game just ended. Islanders won. So they're 0-3 the last 3. That's not good.
How about
not good for my Caps?
Red Wings are playing great. I think they won 5 in a row.
Yeah, but you cost us. Go ahead, Chano.
Yeah, last night I had the Kings money line against them. Was one of my bets, and then Red Wings won in overtime.
Yeah, they won in overtime.
Won in overtime last night. Killed it. I've been crushing it with hockey lately. I'm like 12-2 over my last 14 picks or something like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So crushing it. That was one of my losses though. So they're playing the Ducks tonight, and I almost wanted to put out there the Ducks, but then after last night I was like, I don't know if I can, but yeah, they're playing the Ducks in Anaheim tonight.
Great movie, Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
They need to bring back the name the Mighty Ducks and not just call them the Ducks anymore.
Never seen Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I'm not American. I haven't seen that. I have never seen Goonies. I gave Goonies one. Hold on, I'll take that back. I gave Goonies 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm out. And I gave that stupid Christmas Vacation 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Are you American?
Exactly.
Speaking of Goonies, all the time, every time I think of the Goonies, I think of a sloth saying "Baby Ruth, Baby Ruth."
Oh yeah.
Where does that rank on your all-time candy bars?
Baby Ruth not very high.
Yeah.
Another not very high. I was thinking about it. Paydays, they were pretty bad.
Paydays was bad.
Yeah.
Baby Ruth. I think what turns me off about them is Caddyshack. Have you ever seen
Caddyshack?
Yes.
Every time I see a Baby Ruth, I think of that now. They're the Baby Ruth in the pool.
I did see that movie. If I didn't see that, then I definitely should be banned. But
yeah, Caddyshack's great.
I've seen Goonies. That's
yeah.
No, I refuse. To see that. I was like, okay, what is this? You got Short Round in there, and you got Rudy. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, man. Josh Brolin's in it.
Yeah, and you got Thanos. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Feldman. Mouth.
Oh, yeah, Feldman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I was just like, yeah. Shano, let's go with your last two in the SEC.
All right, SEC. First one, I'm going to go Oklahoma at Tennessee. Okay,
Yes.
Oklahoma, they boast some elite defensive numbers. They're first in the NCAA in yards per play. However, they've only played one team in the top 50 offensively this season, and that was Ole Miss last week. And Ole Miss lit them up. They had 431 total yards, close to 350 yards passing. And that doesn't bode well for them, in my eyes, going against Tennessee, who's second in the nation in passing. Joey Aguilar and the Volunteers have been killing it in the passing game. And like I said, they just got lit up against with Ole Miss. I think Tennessee's got too much firepower. I'm taking Tennessee minus the points. I know JoeDaFan doesn't like that. He doesn't like the bringing a dog back.
No. Good old Rocky Flop. Minus 2.5 at minus 120.
I'm going Tennessee. It's at minus 2.5, I think, right now.
Yeah, it's at minus 2.5.
It opened up at minus 3.5, I believe. So it's starting to move in the other direction for us. That's not great in my eyes, but it's good for us for the money. But it looks like a lot more people are putting money on Oklahoma. But if you look at their Oklahoma stats, like I said, their defensive stats looking great. Except, like I said, the only offensive team they've really played is Ole Miss, and Tennessee, I think, has got a better offense than Ole Miss. So I'm taking the Volunteers. I think they just have too much firepower that Oklahoma can't keep up with.
Would you go -3?
I'd go -3.
Okay. Because the reason why I asked is it's at even money at Caesars.
Nice.
-2.5. If you want to do that, it's at FanDuel at -122. But I think that's too much. I'm not paying 22 cents.
For -2.5?
Yeah. It's -122. That's the only book that's showing it. It's -2.5. Unless DraftKings had it, but didn't see it. All right, what's your last pick there, my friend?
Last pick. We got Georgia at Florida. I know the wise man doesn't like betting on teams coming off the bye, but Georgia's coming off the bye week. But Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, do you know there's only one team he's ever lost to coming out of the bye, and it's Alabama. He's like 9-3 all time against the bye, coming out of the bye, and his 3 losses are all against Bama. And that's Bama. That's Bama. Going against, Nick Saban's Bama when they were like powerhouse Bama. Not that Bama's not bad anymore right now, but anyways, he's 9-0. You take away Bama coming out of the bye. If you go against the spread coming out of the bye, he's 8-1 in the spread coming out of the bye. I'm taking Georgia minus the points. I think they're at -7 right now.
Yep.
Florida is like a floundering team to me. They're kind of like some weeks they look okay, some weeks they look terrible, they look garbage. I know it's in Gainesville, which is a little bit harder for Georgia, but I think Georgia goes in there and beats them by easily over by a touchdown. And if it's at -7, I think they'll beat them. I think they'll beat them by 10.
All right, -110 at Caesars. It is at -7. I'm going to throw in a bonus bet. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to throw in a bonus bet real quick. I'm going to go with Cincinnati Bearcats plus 10.5 at Utah. Based on the numbers that I came up with, I'm going to go with Cincinnati plus 10.5.
Where's that game at?
It's in Utah, but Utah usually they came off. I mean, who'd they play? They didn't play anybody, so
the Bearcats.
The Bearcats have been doing pretty well. I think that's a lot of points. 10.5 is a lot, and their defense, they're flying all over the place. So that's just my bonus bet here. Take it with a grain of salt. But let's recap, of course. So it is, of course, a recap of week number 10 in the NCAA. I'll go first. I took Colorado plus 4.5. You can get that at -110 at Bet365. And I took the dog here in UCF Knights. I took them at plus 3.5 over Baylor. Shano?
ACC. I'm taking SMU plus 10.5 against Miami. And I'm taking Georgia Tech -5.5 against NC State. SEC, I'm taking Tennessee -2.5 against Oklahoma. And then Georgia -7 against Florida.
Cool. Wiseman?
Yep. For the Big Ten, I'm going the Fighting Illini -12.5 against Rutgers. And then the Saturday night game, I'm taking USC -4.5 against Nebraska under the lights.
Those are, of course, a recap of our picks. Before we let these guys go, of course, I got to ask the wise man this question. Minnesota cost you last week.
It did.
Sparty. Yes. Sparty.
I mean, bad.
Sparty is traveling to Minnesota. Is there any revenge there?
No, it's an untouchable game. Jonathan Smith is a dead man walking. He should have probably been fired last week. But that's an untouchable game, in my opinion. I mean, Michigan State's already looking towards their next coach, in my opinion. I got listen to this. Here's my theory. Saban.
No way. No way.
Full
he comes back?
His career comes full circle. He goes back to East Lansing where it all started.
No.
I was there when Saban was there. I watched him leave. Breaking news in my dorm room, Nick Saban going to LSU. I looked out the window of my dorm room, which overlooked the football complex, and I see him putting boxes in his car, Nick Saban. And I see it drive down the street, leaving East Lansing forever. He comes back to East Lansing. Netflix starts a reality show instead of grumpy old men, grumpy old coaches. Saban, Izzo, they still maintain a strong friendship, the two of them. It'd be the hottest thing in all of television. Grumpy old coaches. Izzo, Saban, give him a blank check, bring him back to East Lansing, right the ship.
The question now remains.
I like the fantasy book in there. I don't know if that'll happen, but
the question is, did you, when you stated that you saw him put his boxes or his stuff in his car?
Yeah, and drive off.
To drive off. No parting words?
No, I couldn't get the window open quick enough. And listen, it was a state of shock. This was 1999. I mean, Saban, this was obviously before he won national championships with Alabama, and he loved Michigan State. He was working for a president at the university who wasn't too big on the football program and didn't want to pay Saban. So Saban rode off into the sunset and took all our national championships with him. Sure. I mean, Michigan State could have been the powerhouse that Alabama became if they had paid Saban. Such a shame. So no parting words. I got nothing. He had a good run at Michigan State. He wanted to stay. He was
with that same logic. That means if Bill Belichick stayed in Cleveland, the Browns would have 6 Super Bowls.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And you're hoping if this had happened, Izzo, your man.
Yeah.
You do realize that college basketball is starting next week.
Right
around the corner. That you are hoping that Izzo picks up the phone, calls Saban, come on down.
Yeah. Nick, let's just have one last, road to glory. You come in. I mean, would it be the greatest reality show of all time watching the two of them navigate? I mean, they both hate the transfer portal. They both hate the way college sports is going. Sure. Grumpy Old Coaches is the name of the Netflix special, and it's a documentary on the two of them just coach. I mean, they're great, two of the greatest coaches in their respective professions.
For sure, yeah.
Izzo's a god in East Lansing, rightfully so. Just a class act all the way. So yeah, Izzo, pick up the phone, call your boy Saban, tell him to come back home.
If they make a documentary about this, I think you deserve at least 10-15% from Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your
prediction. Who was man? It was like Walter Matthau and
Walter Matthau, yeah,
and Jack
Lemon.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, not
great movies, by the way.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
So I was thinking Mike McCarthy, but that's me.
Oh, really?
From the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the coaching carousel. We didn't even talk about Brian Kelly getting the can.
Yeah, we didn't. We can talk about that real quick. Kelly. Yeah. So you wouldn't take Kelly?
I don't know. He could be toxic. I mean, everywhere he goes, I mean, you're hearing stories coming out of LSU now that none of the coaches liked him. He's on the golf course half the time. I mean, he's a Michigan guy. Got his start up in Grand Valley and won a couple of national championships at the D2 level before going to Cincinnati.
Right.
So it was a hot commodity. And, 10 years ago, Michigan State probably would have loved having him. But I don't know if you can. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could you touch him?
No. Did you see? There's some reports that came out after he got fired about there was some major recruiting things where he just didn't show up to. There was these major recruiting events that Brian Kelly just decided to skip, and he's like, I don't need to go to that. Yeah. And then that's unheard of in the college level. Your head coach should be there when you're trying to recruit these 5-star athletes to come to your school.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't touch him at all. I think he's done. I wouldn't touch him. I'm sure somebody will give him a chance. But
no, but I think he's smart because LSU is still paying his contract. The way that he structured his contract, I think it's the next 10 years or whatever, they're paying him. I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. I think maybe getting more than Franklin in his bio.
Yeah.
I think his bio was higher.
Don't take Franklin.
Did you guys watch that show? It's still on Netflix. It's called Any Given Saturday, and they're going through some of the SEC teams, and they're showing behind the scenes and stuff like that. Kelly, I mean, I don't know if his coaching style matches very well with the players nowadays. That dude's a hard-nosed coach, man. He's like yelling at the players like crazy. All the other coaches are a lot more, not that they're like super laid back, but they're way more laid back than he is. I'll tell you that. I don't know if that relates very well to this new generation of players.
Yeah.
This is what you do. Get your checkbook, okay? You call Coach O. 2 words. Go Sparty. That's what you need to do.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I think you need someone with Midwest roots, someone who knows. I mean, Jonathan L. Smith was interviewed last week saying, like, God, I really didn't understand this Michigan State rivalry and how crazy it is and the hatred. It's like, how do you hire a coach who like doesn't know that rivalry and doesn't, understand? Like, you need to, someone who knows, who can read the room and knows what's going on with the program.
Gone. That's like Matt Doherty in Carolina basketball. Oh, I didn't know we played. Our rival was Duke. He's got to go. He's got to go.
One of the interesting names I heard was not specifically for Michigan State, but Matt Patricia getting a college head coaching gig. Like, he's running a great defense there in Ohio State. Does he get another call to? Maybe he wasn't just maybe NFL pros wasn't his thing. Maybe college is where he should stay. I don't know.
Maybe Chip Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Get your checkbook out. Call Big O. Coach O.
Do that. Do it again.
Go Sparty. He always has like a, he'll talk to the go Sparty. Hey, go Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why LSU got rid of him as the head coach. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because he won a national championship, and then he had Burrow, he had Jamar Chase, he had Jefferson, and then they all graduated and left, and then he didn't have a great year the year after that. But I was like, yeah, you lost 3 all stars, not just at the college level, but at the pro level. Of course, you're going to go down. But it is what it is. I always liked him too.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. All right, folks, that concludes our NCAA pick for week number 10. Shane and I will be back to do our NFL in about 10 minutes, and we will, of course, catch you next week. For good luck to everybody on your picks. Those are our picks. And like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Happy Halloween, and we will see you next time. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.